the video, make sure you guys click the subscribe button and turn on the post notification bell for daily uploads. Welcome back to Chelsea News TV, and today we're going to do the instant match reaction of Chelsea versus Zenit in Petersburg, and we're going to look at the highlights of the match and give my points of view. So in terms of how the game started, it was a scrappy start from both sides, as Chelsea did have had more of the ball in this opening 5 minutes, but haven't yet fashioned a good goal scoring opportunity. And there were moments where Thomas Tuchel was frustrated, as Chelsea had been guilty of giving the ball away a few times in midfield already, and I can hear the term early ball losses coming in Thomas Tuchel's post-match press conference already. Then there was a good opportunity wasted by the Blues as Chelsea break led by Mason Mount. Romelu Lukaku makes a couple of runs, but Mount doesn't see the Belgian, and eventually the half chance comes to nothing. Then a telling stat comes out as we're almost 20 minutes into the game at Stamford Bridge, and so far there's only been 2 shots and they have both been off target. Then we can clearly see that Chelsea have been poor, as this isn't the Chelsea we have largely seen under Thomas Tuchel. The ball is being moved too slow and their attacks are lacking any kind of cohesion. Then there was some moments where it was a bit better, as Chelsea moved the ball fast and get to the edge of the Zenit penalty area. Marcus Alonso cross is cleared behind for a corner, which is poor from Reece James and cleared. And then we get the first shots on target and it goes to the way of FC Zenit, as deep corner ends up with Racket Sky just outside the box, and his whipped attempt is easily held by Edouard Mendy. Then Hakim Ziyech had a corner which was wide, as for the opening period that counts as a chance, as Ziyech's corner goes narrowly wide at the back post. Then there was a moment where Lukaku was over, as that was Chelsea's best chance of the opening period, as Romelu Lukaku heads over a Reece James cross. Then there was a moment where I thought that Chelsea were awful in terms of how they were playing. We never seen Chelsea play like this before. I don't know if it's the new situation that it's the Champions League and not the Premier League, or if it was a case of stating that, oh, the players went up for it, or because they didn't have enough rest to show that they were capable to play this game. Because we can take it into one situation that, yes, it was a game where Chelsea had very poor rest in terms of they had a game on Saturday, Sunday's a rest day, Mondays to just train, and Tuesday they have a match, and that's something that we are used to as fans of the club and fans of football overall. But overall, it ended up with Azpilicueta being booked, and to say that it was a very good game is an understatement, because I think that it was a awful game overall. I think when it comes to the likes of Chelsea, we didn't play very well in the first half. There were moments where we had some opportunities, but it was a very slow game on either side. And when it comes to Zenit, they probably thought this was a great opportunity for them to capitalize on a situation where Chelsea didn't look their best. They had opportunities where Tuchel was angry with the players. Players weren't happy with each other. The passing was off. Everything was a little bit off. It was very sluggish overall. And it was a very rugged, rigid, I don't know what it was. It was a very poor first half in my opinion. But it did end up with Azpilicueta being booked as well. And it was somewhat harsh as the Chelsea skipper goes into the book for a clash with Azmoun. But overall, it was Chelsea 0, Zenit 0. And it was very underwhelming, as Chelsea nowhere near their best in that opening 45 minutes. And they will have to hugely improve to take the 3 points. In terms of my first half thoughts, I would say not brilliant from the reigning champions, it has to be said. Chelsea have looked solid and defensively as expected, but haven't really offered very much in the final third. The final ball has been poor as well. Thomas Tuchel has cut a frustrated figure on the touchline throughout. Mason Mount got a bit of a bashing for not spotting a pass midway through the half. And only 1 shot from the likes of Romelu Lukaku, which was something that was off target, but Zenit got the only chance. And in terms of my opinion, hopefully we see something different, as we expect much better after the break. And in terms of the second half, there is a much needed improvement from the Blues in this half, and Chelsea has their first shot on target as it comes from Hakim Ziyech, a scuffed effort that is held without any problem. And you can clearly see that Tuchel had definitely had a rage in that dressing room. You know how Thomas Tuchel is. He's a manager that doesn't think before he speaks. He knows what he wants, feels, he will express it straight away, and that's something that he probably did in the dressing room, because that is something that these players definitely needed. And that's why we had a moment where Antonio Rudiger goes wild. There's nobody quite like Antonio Rudiger. The German breaks forward, escapes the attention of a defender, and then blasts wide. And that's one of Antonio Rudiger's moments where he does doing that, where he gets the ball, gets an opportunity, and tries to create something from nothing pretty much. And there was an opportunity where it was a side netting from Reece James, and there was a first half change as well, with Havertz coming on for the likes of Ziyech. But finally, none other than Romelu Lukaku, who scores the goal as the Belgian steps up again to put Chelsea ahead. It's a simple goal in the end. The ball is worked out wide to Cesar Azpilicueta. He crosses deep and Lukaku is there to head home. Chelsea lead. And when you bring a player for £97.5 million and when he's trying to get you out of a situation where you're struggling to score a goal, we don't look attacking at all. We looked very awful in the first half. The players didn't look up for today's game. And you have the one man that was bought for that sort of transfer fee, a transfer masterstroke by the likes of Thomas Tuchel and Marina Granovskaya. And we clearly see Romelu Lukaku with a brilliant goal to help Chelsea get that 1-0 lead. And after that 1-0 lead, there was an opportunity where it was a huge let-off for the Blues, as they had a very Zenit counter-attack, and it was Zuba who slid into Mendy. He was down and receiving treatment, and he wasn't able to score. There was changes, but overall, it was Chelsea 1, Zenit 0, and that was not pretty, but Chelsea have got the job done. Romelu Lukaku, as he is going to be often this season, was the difference in the end. His fourth goal in 4 games has ensured Chelsea make a winning start to their Champions League defence. And it's 4-4 for the likes of Romelu Lukaku. A £97.5 million bargain is in the form of Romelu Lukaku, who is making this look easy. And when it comes to Chelsea overall, decent match, even though Chelsea were poor for most of the game. We'll have to take these sorts of games if we want to be a success, and if we can win these games, that's when we can say that whatever happens, the result is something that matters, and that is something that Thomas Tuchel was able to transmit to those players and get that victory. So we will have to wait and see how Chelsea performs at the end of this season. If you want to see more daily videos from Chelsea News TV, make sure you click the subscribe button, hit the like button so I know you enjoyed the video, and share the video to your Chelsea friends and family. Click one of the videos on the screen and I'll see you there.